Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to Harry's Highlights. On this video, we're going to be talking about the book Leadershift by John C. Maxwell. This is about understanding the positive shift that affects you as a leader and the people that you lead. It's about understanding that you're continually in the process of change when you're a leader. There's a great saying by the baseball legend Babe Ruth who said, "Yesterday's home run won't make it today." So it's understanding that you constantly have to be basically prepared and ready to change. And understand there's constantly shifts happening in your life and as a leader. So if you're basically going to grow, you're going to have to continually change. It's not a state that you're ever really stagnant. Because if you follow the laws of nature, everything is either growing or dying. So as a leader, as something that is trying to lead others and the multiple personalities, multiple situations, multiple environments, you're constantly having to change. You're constantly growing. So being a leader is a real commitment to that and understanding that the foundation of it is that the foundation is always changing. See, you have to ask yourself certain questions like, how open am I to change? Am I becoming a better listener? Like, how adaptable am I? These fundamental questions are things you constantly need to reevaluate yourself as a leader, and what John C. Maxwell talks about as leader shifts. They're the reasons that you stay on top of things, the reason why you keep moving forward, the reasons why you keep going. See, and on that last question there about how adaptable am I? Adaptable is all about being proactive to adjusting. It's about understanding that things are always going to be moving and shifting and changing, and it's about you being proactive about them and not always being reactive to them. Understanding and predicting and being prepared for changes and sudden changes. Looking at things that you basically have to go from a goal mindset to a growth mindset. This is understanding how goals are always on the outside, but growth is always on the inside. It comes back to that age-old thing about what you see on the inside is vision. What you see on the outside is sight. It's about that similar sort of situation, about understanding that with the growth you have to do, with this personal development as a leader and these leader shifts that you have, you constantly have to reevaluate. You constantly have to be objective and look at yourself logically and understand these are the areas I'm strong at, these are the areas I'm weak at. And with these weaknesses, do I need to minimize them at the moment? Do I need to work on them at the moment? And with the strengths as well. Well, how do I prioritize them? And that is part of what makes an effective leader an effective leader, is their ability to constantly be comfortable with change. Now, that's hard to understand or hard to grasp because change is never normally ever comfortable. So you really have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. But part of being an effective leader is that you're proactive to all these different opportunities that come, and understanding that things aren't always obstacles. Sometimes they're an opportunity to be able to grow and benefit from, and at the very least show your team how an effective leader will handle those things, because your team will also be experiencing those things just on a lesser level. So understanding that goal mindset versus that growth mindset is that with the growth mindset, instead of asking how long, as with goals it's how long. Now it's about how far. See, understanding with growth, it's never about, you never stop growing. So it's never about how long till I get to this certain stage. It's about how far will I grow? Just what is my capacity or potential? But always looking at things as, how do I become better? How do I become more? How do I adjust faster? How do I adjust more effectively? Always things about pushing forward and never ever about arriving. See, with a goal mindset, it's about the destination. With a growth mindset, it's all about the journey. And that difference is the reason why some people have the title of a leader and some people have the embodiment of a leader. They lead the people. They inspire motivation, as opposed to the people that dictate and direct. That growth mindset and that being comfortable with the journey and being comfortable with the constant change that's happening and never actually arriving, but always constantly striving, is a reason why effective leaders embody that leader shift. They have subscribed to that leader shift. It's that they have a significant understanding with the fundamentals of leadership is about you're never truly stable. You're always constantly growing, but not unstable. You're just constantly prepared to grow, prepared to react, prepared to keep moving forward in some form or fashion. Some of the questions or things that you look at when you have a growth mindset versus a goal mindset is you start to love what you're learning. You really start to understand and embrace how it's changing you and how it's changing you for the better. See, a lot of people seem to be frustrated or focused on the fact that more growth means more learning. More growth means more change. And focusing on the process of uncomfortability instead of the journey of betterment. Understanding that learning is something that should be embraced and like falling in love with that process of change and not that process of uncomfortability. They're both going to be there, but you can choose on which one you want to focus on. So when you have that mindset of growth over goals, you then start to look at things as like, instead of an expectation of that I need to get here in order to become more, it's that I am going to become more on the way there. And as I become more, you experience more satisfaction because it's not about reaching that goal or destination or crossing the finish line or some form of goal that's almost materialistic or tangible. It's about understanding that it's an ongoing process, an ongoing commitment, something you subscribe to that never ends but can always be begun. It's understanding that you've got to change the shift from me to we. It's about, in the book they explain about, it's about building ladders for others. Instead of like, although you focus on your own growth, part of that growth in yourself is about helping others grow more. It's that servant leadership and understanding that the key to receiving is giving. It's like that age-old saying that you help enough people get what they want and you'll eventually get what you want. And with a Leadershift, it's about understanding how do you help others become more, reach their potential, start their growth journey. It's like that saying of a rising tide lifts all ships. As we all grow together, as you shift from me to we, everybody rises and becomes more and gets better, and then the benefits that follow with that. It becomes a culture or a movement of growth and development and always becoming more. And never arriving at a certain level or situation where you settle, but always striving to thrive. So with that mentality is where a lot of leaders sort of make the mistake of focusing on themselves and believing that they have to be at a certain level before they can help others. When understanding that by helping others is how you get to a higher level. But then also understanding the almost paradox behind, to get to another level, you need to be comfortable with never getting to another level. You're constantly striving and growing for more, and the bar is always ahead of you. So, as difficult as that is to understand is, when you can embody that leadership, that you can embody that it's about a journey, not a destination. It's a subscription to continual growth. You can learn to be not only a more effective leader, you can learn to lead others to be more effective as well. So, to quickly summarize on all of this one, the Leadershift is all about understanding the positive shift that affects you as a leader and the people that you lead. It's about the impact that it has on you and others in that growth cycle. You have to be comfortable with continually being in the process of change. It's not something that ever ends. It's never something that you ever basically stop or settle for. It's something that is ongoing and constantly happening. Like Babe Ruth said, that yesterday's home run, which was a win, won't make today's game. That is what the best example or metaphor to explain this process of change and explain how things are constantly forever moving and changing, but it's up to you whether to be positive or negative. See, you have to, if you're going to grow, you're going to continually change. You're going to be constantly comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to be open to change and understand that, like, are you becoming a better listener? Are you adaptable? Are you proactive to adjusting? Understanding that the goal mindset and the growth mindset, that goals are on the outside, growth is on the inside. You understand that, like, you start to love what you're learning and you start to be comfortable and almost embrace how it's changing you. Not frustrated with these changes and things that are happening with you, but subscribing to becoming a better you. That shift from me to we and about building ladders for others is about understanding the servant leadership and understanding how it's about helping others get what they want, which will in turn help you get what you want. And if you can embody all of this and you can understand and take on these philosophies, you'll understand what it means to have a leader shift. Now, I'll be making a lot more of these videos for this training series to help you with your personal development goals. That's all for now though. So until next time, leave a comment below on what you like the most and look forward to sharing more with you in the next episode of Harry's Highlights.